All right, so today's video, we have a Bronze 3 game on support on PC, and they're going to be seeing Juno. They say, all right, so I started playing Overwatch in the beginning of Overwatch 2. The highest I peaked at was Bronze 2, and I'm still at Bronze 3 today. Unable to climb back up to even Bronze 2, much less the silver that I hope to be someday. My aim's not perfect, and I know I could probably do work on my positioning a bit, but I felt this game went really well for me. Our cast struggled a little, racking up 18 deaths by the end of the match. I wonder if there's anything else I could have done to enable him to pop off a bit more or to pop off a bit more myself. I wonder how much longer I'm going to be in bronze, as I feel like I've improved since I first played comp, and yet my rank shows no sign of changing anytime soon. Can't wait to see what you have to say about this game and how I played. Thanks. All right. So, someone who's never been out of bronze in Overwatch 2, totally fine. And you want some advice on how to improve. So let's figure that out. Let's see how it goes. All right, I like the speed ring out of spawn. Wow. Okay. I'm just like, I just gotta like point out, like, I still get surprised when, even though I watch, like, you know, I've watched a lot of bronze games now. Like, just seeing, like, the battle and the engagement, like, happen around here is just so... I want to kind of show this very quickly, because you hear me talk about the engagement points all the time. And again, I want to point out that each rank plays differently, so I'm not going to sit here and go play high ground. But I find that sometimes when I watch spectators, teams will try to, like, push here on defense, and this is how you basically lose first point quickly. So you want to give yourself more opportunity. If you want to hold this choke, fine. I think this is perfectly fine. Sorry, I know you're on attack, and this is nothing to do with your side, like, but like I had to point it out because I just see it a lot. So I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh, go play high ground, etc. I understand each rank's gonna play different, utilize high ground differently, all that. But like playing from this side gives you more wiggle room to back up and to like survive no matter what rank it is. So just be careful of getting really overextended like up here. I see people do it sometimes, and it can basically lead to like one team fight means you lose the whole point. When sometimes you can extend fights out enough where you can have multiple team fights and just retake it. Anyway, sorry, I just saw that randomly. I just need to point that out. Okay, here we go. So, yeah. I mean, I can sit here and tell you positioning on that one. At the same time, it's like, it goes back to the point I just made. It's very uncommon to see a Bastion peek from the top left, so try to just go this way, though, either way, because you'll end up underneath and in a good cover spot, and you have cover here. So that's a little bit better spot for you to go, to end up at. If you want to be here, you can't be in the middle of the open. Like, look at the angles to your right. Like, if you look to your right, you want to make sure you can still heal from like this, see? And I want to show you this because you can like definitely make this a little bit better. So if you're on this side and you're stuck, just play here. If you really need to, and no one's pushing in here yet, which you can also kind of maneuver this way if you want to eventually. But if you're stuck here, just like, you know, play closer here. Think about the sight lines. Think about their point of view. They can't see you. If they can't see you, you're fine. So, anyway. I don't mind the speed ring there. Trying to help your queen. Yep. Now you're in a spot that I would recommend. There you go. Yep. There's the pick. Now your team's getting aggressive on the Rhine, who gets stuck there. This is showing you that point. Okay. So it's so interesting because I'm trying to figure out ways to like explain some things here. Now, and then this is an interesting game so far because, like, first of all, you got the point pretty much exactly how we thought would happen. They might be able to get back here in time. But one thing I want you to be careful of, it seems like you're doing this style of, like, aim where you shoot at them, you don't move anything, and then you try to, like, lift your mouse and go somewhere else with it. So just be careful of, like, I'll show you an example of it in a minute. Like, you see how you stop, and then you... Just to help on that side of things. Again, I don't normally talk about aim too much. I don't look into, like, you know, a lot of the time it's like if you need to work on your aim, you know, things like that, etc. You know, well, we can talk about it a little bit, but something I'm noticing you're doing is like you basically just kind of keep your crosshair in one spot, you shoot, and then when you need to like readjust, you just end up like lifting your mouse or something and going like a little bit to like somewhere else. See, you just did it right there. So this could be a sensitivity thing too. Something I always recommend for people when they say like, you know, what are some things that can help if you want to figure out mechanic side? Finding the right sensitivity can be huge. This one, I can't tell if it's too fast or really slow, but it could be one of the two. Right there, the bash and get you. Nothing you do about that. Try to use your speedrun output. Just a little bit thing I noticed. If like maybe that would be helpful. I don't know if it will be, but. Okay, there's something I noticed that you could probably do. So, and again, this could apply for all ranks. If you're gonna end up being on Juno and a lot of your playstyle is just to sit here and wait for your teammates to take damage, I actually would recommend like using your movement or like your movement abilities to go up on high ground, or heck, even take the stairs up there. And again, this isn't like the always go high ground situation, but what I'm noticing here as Juno is that you're just kind of standing here and you feel like you could be pressured by the other team. So don't be afraid to go up here and like just start shooting this way. You know, go for your teammates here. This might help a little bit too, getting those mechanics down. And this will help a lot because I find a lot of people when you have bad positioning or you're kind of just in the middle of the open, you take a lot of damage. Like you'll take a lot of damage. And then like you're kind of always feeling like you can't just stay in that spot.
Red hair looking good, emongg. I want mine back now.
What I would say is like go up here on the high ground. You can start to take some, vantage points over here. And this can be super helpful because a lot of the time when you're taking a lot of chip damage, you constantly feel like you have to move or back up or worry about it. I always say the reason why I think positioning is so key, whether it's in bronze or in top 500, is because for me personally, if I have bad position and I'm getting shot at, my aim starts to get worse. I'm thinking about 10 different things at once. When I go to my spots and get better, like just going to certain parts of the map and get like more like comfort spots, I start to play way better. And, just something I've noticed is you kind of tend to be in the middle right here with everybody, so you're going to start taking some random chip damage, and you're going to be like, oh no, I'm taking that. Also, nice job there. Good opener. So, it gives you more opportunity to do damage, too. So, that was a very, quite the first team fight for Hollywood. I can't believe, if you told me that was going to take 3 minutes with a point, I'd be very surprised. That was something. Your Cassidy just stood there. You asked if there's something you can do to, like, help them pop off more. If your Cassidy stands in a doorway like that and just stands still, that is something that the cast will have to go. Okay, so this is where it starts to get wild. Okay, so first of all, if you're saying can you help your Cassidy with that? Oh, also look at this animation. That's cool. I never knew it was like that. Listen, if your cast does this, you're not going to be like. There's nothing you can really do in this situation here. Like your Cassidy walk through the doorway. If your cast does this against their team, I'll show you. That's not going to be on you. I know you always want to like try to help your teammate there. I'm the same way. I'm always looking for ways to enable my teammates, help them out. If they run through a doorway by themselves like that in a straight line, that's not going to be on you. So don't worry about that, okay? I will see if there's more moments where you can help them. But okay. Ways to help. I want to put this goes for anybody here playing Juno, okay? If your teammate is getting chased by a Ramatra and you have speed ring, use that speed ring to help your teammate because that's going to be more beneficial than trying to just keep up with the heals most of the time. Use the speed ring, help disengage the Ramatra because Ramatra's value comes from the increased speed boost in the Nemesis form. So help your teammate with a speed ring to back away. I just think that I'm watching you there without using the speed ring for a while, and that could really help your team. Murphy, thanks for the 12 months of the tier 1 day. Appreciate it. Thank you, Murphy. Your tour pops off and gets some limbs. Nice job.
12 months, that's 12 months.
So their keyboard broke. Everybody just kind of hanging out on cart. Now listen, again, you don't necessarily have to apply this during bronze, but I do want to kind of get you, not in the habit of, but like kind of understanding why you don't want to just stand here. So when you just stand here, and you do absolutely nothing, like you just stand here in the cart. Again, people are like, I watch you go in the cart all the time. Well, I have like 1,400 hours of cart time now because no one else wants to do it. But anyway, this gives them free entry. And I think it would be more beneficial to like let somebody else sit here for now, go up here with your Torb and like just start pop shotting down here, okay? Again, I'm not trying to drive you to the high ground every single time, but I'm also showing you why it's good. If you go up here and you start to go to this angle, you're now going to be able to pop shot them, right? And you said you want to get out of bronze. If everybody in bronze is not, not going up for these high grounds, not trying to deny space, and you've already given yourself a bit of an advantage there, right? So go up here, and now you have that angle, right? You have an angle here where you can play a little bit more safe if you want to stand still, etc. You can back away right when the chance is there, but don't be afraid to just go somewhere else on the map besides just stacking everybody on the cart, right? There's going to be multiple team fights. So people are like, okay, next up, when would you put 3 on the cart? I'll explain that in a minute because I'll wait till the cart's in a good spot to show you when it's on a bad idea. All right? But so far, like, of course, at this point, your team is going to have if you end up sitting here on the low ground and just, like, not pushing up, there's going to be a problem on the retake, which is what kind of happens is the Torb goes by himself all the way over there. Good speedrunning there when you saw an ultimate. Again, apply that same stuff with the Ramatra when you have the opportunity. Now, I would use Juno ult here. This is an opportunity. So, I'll show you in a second. So this is where you're at, right? First of all, if you win this team fight right here, say you're here and you win the team fight, 3 on cart's fine. It's just gonna guarantee you get the point, eliminates them from being able to get there. But here is where you would probably pop your Juno ultimate. It's because they're stuck here, they're all over the place, and you kind of need the ability to survive this. Your team will win this team fight if you pop your ultimate in time, right? So I would rather see you pop your ultimate here very, very soon, and maybe you will, but I want to show it now, so that way the ultimate's going this way. It forces them back into areas where they either get stuck in here. I get free limbs here in top 500 a lot of the time because this is the only disengage spot. They get stuck in here, and then you can do damage either way, and you're not getting crossfired, which means or have off angles. Like, for example, if you don't pop your ultimate, you technically have a Juno and a Hanzo on this side, and you have a Ramatra on this side, and then everybody here is just spinning in circles looking for everybody. Well, now they might win that team fight. But if you have a Juno ultimate, that gives a bit more of a safety net. Again, don't be afraid to use your ult here, because I think it will really benefit your team. Yep, there's a speed ring. Again, I still would have liked to see your ultimate popped here. I think it would have gone a lot better than how it's going thus far. I don't mind you going for the Bastion. Good job. Good job. But yeah, I think if you Juno ult that, you have a much better experience there in cart. Because even with the Bastion flanking, if you pop the Juno ultimate around the time that I kind of mentioned it, they're not going to get you during that. And then your team can turn around and just basically one-shot a Bastion because they're out of position and you have a free kill. So now, just keep in mind, you're waiting on a regroup here. So if you just walk in the middle of the open here like this, you're going to constantly end up in spots where they can just roll you, right? Like, it's just like you're not going to have a good time with that. So we're going to pause for a second here. All right, listen. Bastion ultimates is one of the easiest ultimates to get away from. Okay? How do I know this? Listen, I've been doing a play of the game video. Let me tell you, I should get a play of the game if I do damage with the Bastion ultimate. All right? That should be the play of the game. If I can manage to disengage an ultimate, that should be the play of the game. Or get a kill with an ultimate as Bastion. Basically, the point I'm making here is do not Juno ultimate a Bastion ult, because you could technically, to give you an idea, if they just if you Juno ult it and they just throw all 3 on top of the Juno ultimate, you'll fall over to that. That will be enough burst damage to fall over. The Juno ultimate will not save you. So, speedrun. Just pop a speedrun and run around. You're going to probably get out of the Bastion ultimate. If you take 1 tick of damage, you're going to be fine. If you didn't notice, right? If you didn't notice, you didn't, you just stayed in it and then popped your ultimate, and you still survived the one part of the Bastion ultimate, right? If it was 3, you'd fall over. So, just speedrunning that. Don't waste your ultimate here. And again, this kind of goes back to where you could have won a team fight prior based off of, a good usage of your speedrun, and instead, here we are using or not even your speedrun, of your Juno ultimate, and here we are using it now. So, here we go. You can't take it either because of that. Yeah, well, during the play of the game video, that was, let me tell you. All right, so your teammate's up there. You're kind of in this, now do you see, okay. Imagine if you had gone this way, go up the elevator, back to where we initially showed earlier. You're up here. Now you can heal your Torb, and guess what? You can heal your Queen. Do you see why I want to set you up on good spots and have you go to, areas of the map that are good? You don't have to take high ground in every situation, but, think about how beneficial that is. Use the map to your advantage, not just sit in the middle of the map like you have been doing this whole time. It's going to go a long way, and, that is, and you go, yeah, but in bronze, a lot of people don't do that. They just go on the low ground. Well, exactly. So your goal is to get to silver. Let's take a little bit of that advantage there, where you can kind of go and do things that you may not be seeing normally in bronze, and using that to your advantage, right? You freeze because you're waiting for your torpedo to come back. Yeah, I think it just think about uptime. Just find any way to do healing and damage, right? If you do that, your torpedo cooldown, you probably won't worry about it as much. You'll actively look for it, but if you're constantly doing something, that'll probably help a lot. Speedring now. Right here's a situation where you would speedring. Speed ring. You want a speed ring because your queen would benefit from a speed ring. There it is. But that was really late. Like, I would have used that much prior to that. All right. Be careful with the Bastion. Now remember, like I watch you like slowly walk over to the cover here. You have a movement ability that you can use to get away. Like, don't be afraid to use it. It will be harder to hit shots that way, right? Like, so you're not using that cooldown a lot. I find that you're just not using your cooldowns in general a lot. So that alone is going to help you on Juno, right? There you go. See some double jump there. Perk-wise, it looks like you took the... I don't even know what they look like. I know one of them is torpedo one. I don't know what that one is. Oh, that's the glide boost here. I want you to think about fall-off damage. Okay, so fall-off damage is where you're going to do way less damage from a certain range. Like, you have an effective range, and then you have a certain range. Technically, if you really wanted to know the details now, they added it so you can hit F1 and then middle mouse button, and it will show you all the damage, the fall-off range. If you don't understand ranges, you can ping, and it will show you the meters on the ping. That's a way to see that. But, like, you're basically tickling them at this range. Like, that's basically what you're doing. You're not going to be doing, like, effective damage to them. Like it's... So, find ways to do what you're doing there, but be up a little bit closer. All right? All right? Speed ring in the cart, not recommended. It doesn't go any faster. If it did, I'd play Juno all the time. No, I know you weren't doing that, but I like to see cool. Hey, you use your mobility movement. That's good. Heck yeah. Dash on high ground. Also, your Cassidy, you were talking about how, like, can you help them more? A lot of what I've seen is they either run in a straight line through a doorway, or they get headshot by a Hanzo. That's really tough to save. You gotta pay attention a little bit more to your queen there. You spent a lot of time here not really paying attention to the rest of your team during this whole sequence. I want you to do a little bit more of that too. Okay? Oh, you're getting closer here. Nice job. There, oh, use your movement to get out of there. Okay. Be careful here. Wait a second. Don't get killed here. Yeah, I mean, it seems like you're... Yep, there you go. A little bit of cover. Speed ring, 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 speed... Speed, they got up to point. I can't. Anyway, so you definitely need to use your abilities more, okay? First of all, one of the really good comps for a long time, early Overwatch 2, was Brig, Lucio, Queen. We're far from that meta now, but the point I'm making here is Queen benefits from speed boost. If I'm playing Queen and you're giving me speed boost, I get so much more value because of my Carnage. So I'm not seeing you, like, you kind of mentioned your Cassidy having 18 deaths. I'm more worried about you not, like, using your kit to help your Queen, who would benefit from being really fast, right? Like, I think that would be, like, a huge part of that. So, let's start, like, enabling your teammate more with a speed ring. Let's start doing things like that rather than, you know, not really using your abilities, kind of just running in circles in the middle of, like, the open. There's a lot you can improve there. Yeah. Speed boost gets underrated in a lot of, like, ranks, I think. And it is such a key part to helping, like, enable your teammates in certain ways. So, I'm okay with your starting position. This is good. See, this is also what I was explaining earlier. A little bit of a caveat to people who set up here. Just be careful of their team comp. If they have, like, a Hanzo or something, it is common to get one shot up here. It's a risk reward sometimes. It's a good spot, but just be ready to rotate if you do see that, like, a Hanzo. Which you're going to see a Hanzo eventually, so if you do, be prepared to rotate around. So that way you're not getting one shot. Okay? Yep. Yeah, well, I agree. I mean, I do agree there should be more movement and, like, you know, jumping around, things like that. I just don't want you to spam the button, is all I'm saying. Yeah. Because that's what I do, and it doesn't... I try not to do it as much. Yep. Queen is kind of... Again, this is why you don't want to push up too far on this map, specifically, because you basically just kind of give up the point a little bit. But... thankfully, they're taking their time to go to the point right now because the Mercy's there. So they're not. Right, go away. All right, that's speed ring. Help your mercy. Help your mercy. Oh, you're going right in there. Okay, here we go. Yep. Be careful. Help your queen. Okay, don't have to just get out now. I know you're going for a couple shots there. Go take the high ground. Go up the elevator behind you. Do not go down the middle of the outside here. Go up top right. It'll be a safe spot for you and your team. You can always rotate off of that. Yep, right there. Yes, there we go. Okay, took a little bit, but that's what I was hoping for. Your Cassidy, yeah. I just want to show you, like, I know you were worried about your Cassidy, but, like, this is, you're not going to be able to help. Like, you can try on this one, but, like, watch, like, this is, like, watch the Pathin. Pathin's so important. Look at your cast. Running it right down mid, like, you can't, you're not going to be able to help that. So I wouldn't put that on you in, like, the sense of, like, can you do better? Like, is there a couple spots where you probably could have turned, healed your Cassidy, etc.? Absolutely. I don't think anyone's going to deny that part. But I do think there's some things you could definitely do to improve that. That's for sure. All right. Like, you can definitely do some things to help there, but, like, I was going to say is you can do things to help there, but you're not going to be able to help if the Cassidy runs it down middle and just gets shot by a Hanzo over and over again. Like, that's just on your Cassidy at that point, and readjust in position. It's the Pathin. So, there you go. Yep. Go. Okay. So, like, here. You have a decision. Your decision is either A, stay on this side and help your teammate. B, rotate through here around to be in a safe spot. You go with this rotation. Now, do you see how this looks from their team? Do you see this? You are on your own. And I want you to get out of the habit of rotating like this. Always think about cover. Always think about why you're going somewhere. I see no reason for you not to just stay up here with your queen and keep your queen alive. You have a health pack for safety. You can then go up here on the high ground. Use the map to your advantage, okay? Don't try to do rotations like this. Sometimes it's going to happen. Like, sometimes you're forced into rotations like this. This was not one of those situations. You have option of cover, option of no cover, and that you went with option of no cover. So, again, I want you to get in the habit of that. I mean, and if you're going to do a rotate, you also have a speed ring that you could use for that. And remember, with speed ring, when you activate it, you get the benefit of the speed ring. You don't need to run through it as Juno right away. You can go again after if you want to, but when you pop speed ring, you get that momentum boost. Okay? See how you ended up back in the safety spot here? That if you never went to that spot, you wouldn't have had to use your cooldowns the way you did, and you still have that cooldown. Good job on getting the Hanzo. Okay. Oh, wait, there it is. That's it out. A little bit late on the speed ring. I didn't see if your cooldown was down, but if you had it when that happened, you should have popped it right away. That should be your first reaction. Torvald flank. I love it. I love it. That's going to work, isn't it? Now, you see how their Juno is moving around the map, how much harder it was to kill the Juno there? Again, I would just like to see you use your cooldowns a little bit more than you do right now. I really think it would be helpful if you were to use your cooldowns a little bit more than you currently do. It's something I noticed.
No one can withstand me.
It isn't the best idea to 1v1 Hanzo there. I'll talk about that very quickly. You're talking about the Hanzo that was right here. Yeah, we can talk about that very quickly if it's helpful. So I think you're almost forced to take the 1v1 there because let's be honest here. If the Hanzo's flanking here and everybody in your team is this way, if you kind of ignore the Hanzo here, like they're just gonna end up killing your team. So you almost start forced into that 1v1. So normally I'm not saying go and engage a 1v1, like go and find the Hanzo to 1v1 them. But if a Hanzo's flanking, I mean, sometimes you just got to deal with that, right? And on a lot of the supports, you have that capability of being able to out-duel a DPS if you use your utility correctly. That's how Overwatch is nowadays. So, like, I think that was almost like a forced 1v1, but it is a general thing. Like, you don't want to just go and engage that 1v1 and force it. But I think in that situation, you almost had to, right? You almost had to. So, anyway, hope that was helpful. Yeah, and just to help you, and I want to try to get you in the mindset of this too. You just spend a lot of like your neutral. I always explain the neutral as basically like, you know, no ultimates are happening. You're just in a team fight, just kind of just doing whatever. You end up just gravitating towards sitting in the middle of the open, not really looking at your position, and then you just get tunneled on something, and that's that. So just keep, like, you're moving out. Positioning's looking okay. Cassidy's right there. You're doing a good job keeping the Cassidy alive there. The Mercy is trying to DPS. All right. Nice right click. Speed ring for your queen. Speed ring for your queen. So think about it, right? If you do a bunch of damage to somebody, and your queen can benefit from a carnage, which is the axe, speed ring your queen. Give your queen the benefit of being able to get aggressive onto the team. Enable your teammates to pop off, and when you enable your teammates to pop off, right, it also helps you pop off. That's the way I've always explained it, like why I like, you know, like tanking is one of the things I enjoy is enabling my teammates to be able to pop off, so then I will also pop off. It's like a win-win, right? So just remember that. Like, these are like, these small things can help you win games. Because they're, if it's on happening on one side of the, you know, the team, and maybe the same way the other way. So you can take that small advantage. Yes, there you go. Much quicker speed ring reaction. Obviously, the queen wasn't able to get out fully, but I much prefer that type of reaction to it than the other way. Yep, now move up. Move up with this. Move up with this. Move up with this. Move up with this. So, another thing you're not doing is when your teammates are making a play, you're not really taking advantage of it. You're kind of just staying in the same static spot. And what I mean by that is, like, you don't really move up if your queen gets an ult. Your queen just hit like a 4-person, maybe 5-person ultimate, and your reaction is to kind of like just stay back here and not move up with your queen. Move up. Go up with your team. Assist your team. There's been many times your queen's made a really good play and you're just sitting back and you're going, you're basically in the, no, you come to me at this point mode. But no, a lot of the time as support, and I talk about it sometimes in spectating, is you need to rotate also, okay? You need to rotate with your team. You need to go with your team. If your team's moving, you need to move. Now, obviously, you need to let your tank know, hey, you need to stay in my sight lines, but you also need to readjust your position if your teammates are making good plays. I've seen you kind of stay static on that no matter what, and you don't really do that. And this was an example of that. Like, I think this would have been a good follow-up. Instead of healing your queen here, you start kicking the things in front of you there. Yep. Okay, now you're moving up a little bit, but see, you only did it when it was a 5v1. You got stuck there? It's okay. Oh, now you're shooting a torb on your team. Nod, thanks to 87 months of the tier 1. Thank you, Hiimishie. Thank you.
Good day, Med. Howdy.
Step right up.
Okay, like this is what I mean. Your whole team is up here, except for you and Torb. Torb's just 5-ing. Look at this. Like, do you see, like, now your team might win this, but like, do you see this? This is what I mean. Like, your team's up here making some really good plays, and you're just like, hey, what's up, everybody? Everybody having a good day? Like, so hopefully you've noticed that during this VOD. Good job by your Cassidy getting the kills. Yep, are you waiting for your queen to fall over here? Your Cassidy and Mercy are there. You should already be up here. Oh, now you're gonna start blasting around the corner. You're just using your torpedoes for fun. Yep, there you go. There you go. Anyway, they can't touch the point and your team wins the game. So, just to answer your question, no, most of the time, by the way, your Cassidy, in my opinion, just was out of position. Sometimes you can't do anything about that. If you wanted to really try to help them, you just got to really go hard pocket. Honestly, there's also a Mercy there too, and it just felt like it's hard to be able to pocket that if somebody's running through a doorway. So you're fine there. But yeah, really start moving around the map more. You have a lot of things that we talked about during the video that we'll probably have some tips that will pop up. Apply a lot of that knowledge because that will help you climb. Because if everybody in the lobby isn't doing that and you start to do these like small things, it's gonna go a long way to climbing. So you got this. You absolutely got this. You like the video? Hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube, all that. My Discord's where you submit spectators, so check that out. And with that being said, I hope you all have an amazing day /night.